Okay, everyone, I'm really, really excited today because I am joined by everybody's favorite father, Father Gabriel, aka Seth Gilliam. Seth, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks. It's nice to be with you.
Yeah, so Seth, after this wild finale that just aired, it's amazing to see the transformation of Father Gabriel from being where we saw at the beginning of his character arc in Walking Dead, being this chicken, and now he's like this huge leader, and he's got these big moments now. He's leading in this tower against these whispers and zombies. So, a question I had though, watching Gabriel's scenes in the finale, is that there's a moment where we can believe that he thinks he's about to die. He talks to Judith, basically telling Judith to go
hmm
tell Rosita something for him. Can you kind of get us in the mindset of Gabriel here and why he might have been accepting that he was going to leave Rosita and her baby behind and that he was about to die?
I think seeing the sheer numbers was a telling sign to him. I think not quite really understanding what makes the Whisperers tick because they're so far beyond his comprehension that people could do what they do in the way that they do it, and seeing the numbers that they had against the numbers that he had, I think kind of played a little bit on his doubt that he would make it out at that time. But I think he also had a great deal of faith that he would be able to protect them, that he would probably end up giving his life, but that it wouldn't be the fall of their community.
That's really interesting you say that, and I think that the audience can really feel that too. And I think as a viewer, you're watching what's happening to Gabriel, and like you're like, oh my god, this guy is about to die. We're about to lose him, and he survives. So when you're actually reading the script for an episode like this, are you getting paranoid? Like,
hmm
oh my god, is this my time to go? Like, do you feel that when you're always reading a script for Walking Dead?
I mean, you have a conversation where, they say that there's some things coming up you want to keep an eye out for. But you're never quite sure, you know. So it does get tense reading,
Yeah.
reading the script. But that's part of the excitement of the job. I mean, you know that anybody's number could be called at any time. So if it's yours, you just hope that it's going to be something that's worthy of the character, of the journey that the character's been on. So reading up to it, I was like, all right, if he's going, this is the way it is. This is the way it is, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that it was an awesome scene because Gabriel got to be the one who was rescued by a returning popular character as well in Maggie. So
Yes,
what was that like with Lauren Cohen being back on set? Can you kind of give us a little idea into that?
that was great. That was really great. And I was really excited that I was going to be a part of the great reveal, in this moment of certain doom for Father Gabriel. There's the reveal of hope coming back,
Yeah.
and Maggie's return. And I was really excited that I was going to be a part of that. And I haven't actually seen the episode yet. So I know the way that we shot it, my response and reaction to her was one that I thought would be genuine for Gabriel at the time, and kind of, in a way, it was me wanting to throw back, the welcome open arms.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did it look, by the way? Did you see the episode?
Oh yeah, and it looked amazing. It just hit so emotionally because I'm sure too, like you're saying, doing truth to Gabriel's character, but it also probably came easy for you, right? Because like it is also a reunion of two actors, right? That like
Yeah,
she's back,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I think your story's been so interesting this season. It's probably actually my favorite
Mhm.
Gabriel story arc of any season, and I thought one of the big moments for me was when Gabriel earlier in the season killed Dante. So, can you kind of clear up for us why he decided not to give Dante any mercy here?
I think at that point he decided that the Whisperers, as a collective, were something beyond his understanding and beyond redemption, and they deserved what they were putting out in the world.
Yeah.
I think if Dante hadn't interwoven himself in the fabric of the community so deeply, then Gabriel might have given it more thought. But that he could so easily and still do what he did, I think was a little bit beyond his understanding of people. And he's like, yeah, you're just evil, and you got to go.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and it's interesting because to me, Gabriel's such a complicated character, especially with his morals and his faith. And at this point, with the character Gabriel, where would you say his core is moral-wise? Like, what is his belief at the end of the day as just a person?
I think he stands on the side of people are ultimately given the opportunity, people will do what is the right thing. However, people are very complicated and people are very dangerous, or can be. I think where we met him years ago on the top of that rock, I don't think he was aware of that. I think he was just terrified of people. And I don't think that he was aware that there was something that could be redeemed in people, because I don't think he felt he was worthy of redemption himself. So I think he's kind of found a bit of peace with himself throughout this journey, and it's allowed him to be more accepting, more accessible to what makes people tick. And I think his dealings with Negan have greatly informed that. You know, his weekly meetings or whatever it were, bi-weekly meetings with Negan, where they would sit and talk, and he would basically get to know the mind of a psychopath.
Right.
Someone who was exceedingly charming, and who seemed very capable of rational, clear thought and action, who would choose to brutally murder people, brutally kill people, to make a point to enslave mentally other people, you know, and trying to get to the other side of what that's all about. I think has helped to fortify Gabriel's resolve in some sense and kind of strengthen him. I think he's felt that he was able to reach Negan in a way that he wouldn't have been capable of years earlier.
That's really an awesome connection, actually, to Negan. And it shows how much they kind of impact each other's characters. And I'm curious with you, too. You mentioned, like, going back to scenes of Gabriel way back and how long you've been on the show. As an actor, is it challenging to keep up with such a long story arc? And what keeps it interesting for you at this point? Like, what are the kind of the pros and cons to it?
I think what keeps it interesting for me is that it remains challenging, because there are lots of twists and turns of this character that I've been given to play with, you know, over the course of these last 7 years. And each one has been telling me, well, how do I make that connect to what I just played? How do I make that connect to what I just played? Oh, okay, well, that's another shade in the color of the palette of this character. Okay, so that's another shade, and that's another shade, and that's another color, and that's another color. And that's what keeps it interesting. The writers have been fantastic, in my opinion, with crafting this character in a way that he can do extreme things, but you can see where they come from, so they're believable.
It's just admirable how you've gone this long and done such an amazing job portraying this character that's so beloved from the comics as well. And
thank you.
Coming to that, how do you feel now about it being officially announced that this is the last season coming up in season 11? Is it emotional for you? Can you just give us your reaction to it and how you're approaching going into it?
Well, I was kind of, I guess, a bit shocked. I had, the sense that the Walking Dead, the original show could go on like, Gunsmoke, give us a good 20 some odd years of it. But all good things, I guess, must come to an end, though apparently it's not the complete end. They've got anthologies and different, all kinds of branches coming off of the same tree. So it doesn't really feel as final as, I guess, other jobs would,
Yeah.
Because I know that I can still tune in and be taken away on a different path of the same show, the same people that I've come to care about, and watch them go off and do cool things.
Yeah.
So, it's not like, I won't be seeing them again. It's like, no, I can just turn on the TV and I'll see the latest adventures of, of whomever it may be.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as a viewer, it's going to be a bittersweet ending to see it. I'm just so happy that your character is going to be in the final season. That was a breath of fresh air. I really thought we were going to lose you there for a second. Yeah, everyone, please make sure, if you haven't for some reason watched the finale yet, it's on AMC Premiere, also on AMC On Demand, and it will be replaying a lot on AMC itself. You can also catch up with The Walking Dead on Netflix, rewatch all the great episodes of Father Gabriel, and if you love Seth Gilliam, you can also check him out in Oz and The Wire. He's a knack for being in amazing shows. It's only because he contributes so much as well. So thank you so much, Seth, for joining me, and I hope to talk to you again for season 11.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a good one.